always been a sports enthusiast and now you're a sports entrepreneur. So how did that happen?
Well, I think being a sports fan and a sportsman as a kid and in school and college, it's something that always kind of was part of my life. And I was always very keen, ever since I was much younger, to be involved in sports in some way. So even when I became a film actor and started my journey in cinema, there was always this one latent desire to be involved in sports in some way as well.
Kabaddi was never a spectator sport and now it's become hugely watched. There have been big gains in popularity in viewership. Did you anticipate that?
I don't think anybody who was involved as some of the founding franchisee members of the Kabaddi League ever thought that it was going to become this big. The two main reasons I would say is, one is it's a sport I think everybody in India knows. At some point of time, everybody's played it. Maybe not, ages of 12 and below. That generation is more into football. But anybody above 12 at some point of time has played Kabaddi of some sort. So, and it's our sport, it's India's sport, it's India's indigenous sport. It's over 4,000 years old, it has its roots in the Mahabharata and Indian mythology and Abhimanyu and the Chakravyuh and all that kind of stuff. So it's our sport. We're very good at it. So that's one main thing. The second thing is, I think as a product for television, it's ideal. It's a 40-minute match. Even T20 goes on for 4 hours. This is just 40 minutes with a 5-minute break. So it's very convenient to watch and package as a TV show. So it comes on at 8 and by 8:45 you're done. I mean, we've had anecdotes of people actually coming up to me and saying, oh, it's fantastic because, we put the food on the stove, go watch a match. When the match is over, food's ready, eat your dinner. And it's something that everybody watches. It became the highest watched sport in India for women and children. Almost 35% of the audience is women and children, which is unheard of in the world of sport across the globe.
So you have some major Kabaddi talent in your team and superstars in their own right, really. But when you first bought the team, were they in awe of you, a Bollywood superstar?
I mean, it's a bit awkward, but if I can, in all humility, say yes, there was. I think they get excited. These are also very normal people who haven't. And there's one of my favorite anecdotes of the first ever Pro Kabaddi League Kabaddi match happened in Mumbai at the NSCI. We were playing U Mumbai against Jaipur Pink Panthers, which is my team, and we had a great camp where we had trained for almost 6 weeks, and the team was looking good, playing solidly, and they were very confident. And I was hoping, okay, start of something new, should start off with a win, and went into the match, and they got pasted. And they just looked like, they'd got caught in the headlights. And I didn't understand what was going on. And after the match got over, I remember I went into the team bus because I traveled with them. So I was with them. And by then, they'd become comfortable with me because I'd spent a lot of time. Because I anticipated that, look, I want them to feel that I'm a part of the team. I want to be approachable to them. So I'd spent a lot of time. So they were pretty comfortable with me. And I went and I said, guys, what happened? So one or two, reluctantly said, it's the first time, big crowd, there was music, there's lights, there's all this kind of razzmatazz, so we were a bit, I said, okay, I get that. But that's when the real reason came out. It was the first match, so I'd invited my family and a lot of my friends. So my captain, I remember, came up and said to me, he said, they all call me Dada. So they said, Dada, wo Sachin Tendulkar wahan baithe the. Phir unke bagal mein Shah Rukh Khan ji baithe the. Aur unke piche Aamir Khan ji baithe the. Aur phir bhabhi wahan baithi thi. और उसके ऊपर अमित जी भी वहाँ आ गए. So then I went back and saw the footage, and these guys actually through the match, when they're not raiding or something, they were actually looking into the crowd saying, hey, did you see that one? So it was a new experience for them. So I said, okay, now you've got that out of your system, okay, let's move on. So I invited them all over here to this room. They met the whole family. I said, you've met them, take your photographs. Okay, now let's get back to playing Kabaddi. So obviously in the season 1, it was a big thing for them. I don't think they'd ever been given this kind of platform. They're getting used to it now, we've worked at it, and they're stars in their own rights. I mean, I travel with the team, and now you get people coming up to them in airports and taking selfies and autographs, and the first couple of seasons in our home ground, there was a lot of excitement if me or the family would be there to come see us, but now it's about the players. They need to be the ambassadors for the team and for the sport. It can't be me. I can maybe help them along a bit, and that's actually paying off. The last season in Jaipur, we sold out the stadium every match. They were there to see people like Jasveer Singh and Manjeet Chillar, who are 2 of our big stars. And they're there about the teams. And now from just maybe wanting to get a photograph with me or screaming my name at the stadium, they're also screaming the players' names, and you know they've got a fan following. So, and we've even done a lot to help that along. You know, be it through social media or whatever. You know, we've tried to build that kind of community as much as possible. So yes, initially that was there, and I mean, I'd be mistaken to say it's not there at all now. It still is. They're very simple people. You know, I don't think they've not been corrupted by money and by fame yet. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's human nature. You can't stop it. But I don't think they've had the kind of exposure, say, footballers and cricketers have had. So they're still kind of climbing that ladder.
How do you expect to make long-term profits from this league? And what are the plans to scale up? How do you see this league actually becoming a much bigger, maybe even global player?
Well, I can say with great pride, in the second season itself is when I went into profit. Obviously, the first season we didn't get sponsors or anything, and our maximum revenue came through sponsors. And now from what we get as a central pool from the league itself. But the league has grown. We're now the biggest sporting league in India in terms of amount of teams. There are 12 teams in Kabaddi. We added 4 new teams the last season. The season has become longer. It's a 3-month league as opposed to a 40-day league. So all those costs go up. Yes, we do get more revenue from media, etc., etc. And when you have a longer engagement of a league, then your sponsors also look upon it a bit more favorably. So as of right now, your media rights and your sponsors are your biggest source of revenue. Stadiums are very small. As compared to a cricket stadium, which can house up to sometimes almost 50,000-60,000 people, those gate receipts are a lot. But in Kabaddi, an average indoor stadium will not be more than 3,000 to 4,000 people. And also because you want to popularize the sport, so you keep the ticketing price very low, so it becomes competitive for people to try and buy it. My aim is not to lose money. My aim is to break even and then try and reinvest in the team to try and improve whatever facilities we have. And that's the model we've taken. And like I said, from season 2, we were in profit, so we're happy. Not huge profit, marginal, but yeah, not losing any money.
Are you planning to invest in any other sporting ventures?
You know, when I first got into Kabaddi, which was my first step into the sporting world, it was a passion project. When it became successful, I realized that, okay, I can make this into a business. That's when football came into it. But you know, don't be mistaken. It has to be love and passion first. Otherwise, I don't think any business is worth doing. That's the way I look at it. Would I like to expand the scope of my sporting world? Yes. I do believe that sports in India is the new horizon. I do believe that it is an industry which can be hugely revenue generating. So would I like to invest further into sports? Absolutely.